It's a make or break year for Scott Satterfield at Louisville. The million-dollar question is, can he finally deliver? So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. Ready to predict Louisville's schedule and record for this upcoming college football season. And when you take a look at the numbers, guys, Louisville was so close to having a special year. Cardinals going 6-7, but had 4 games decided by one possession. 4 games decided by one possession. 6-7 could have easily been 10-3. Again, taking a look at those numbers from College Football Encyclopedia, the Cardinals returned 79% of the team from last year, 79% of their production. That's 12th in the nation. They were 21st in the country last year on offense, mostly thanks to Malik Cunningham, their star quarterback, who accumulated over 3,972 yards last year and 39 touchdowns. Rushed for over 1,000, let's keep that in mind. And he returns a loaded offensive line and plenty of wide receiver help alongside the ever-reliable tight end Marshawn Ford. When you look at the defense, guys, Louisville was 84th in the country last year. Not great, and that's really what ultimately was holding Louisville back. Was sure, a little bit of consistency in decision-making from Cunningham, something that he'll improve on, but the defense was their downfall. 84th in the nation last year, especially weak against the pass. Scott Satterfield recognized this and went out and added 6 players to the transfer portal to come in and help the secondary. 6 players solely in the secondary, not just overall. So this is a Louisville team, guys, that's bulking up on defense, recognizing what they need to do to start winning. The million-dollar question is, can they do it? Can they take a step forward? And will Scott Satterfield still have a job going into 2023? We take a look at their schedule. They open the year up against Syracuse, and we talk about how big this game is for the Cardinals and the Orange. The winner of this, it kind of sets the tone for the season and could be huge in determining which one of these teams, if either, get to go bowling at the end of the year. But we're going to give the win to Louisville here. Louisville does have to stop the run. They've got to find a way to stop down the run because that's what Syracuse wants to do. But they did it last year, and I think they can do it again. The Cardinals won 41-3 over the Orange. I don't see a 38-point swing, despite the game being at the Carrier Dome. Despite Syracuse returning a lot of talent, I think Louisville's the better team here across the board. I think they're going to get a much closer win, but it's still a win nonetheless. They then travel to the Bounce House. Their first 2 games, guys, are on the road. Never ideal. The Bounce House, guys, is going to be tough. UCF desperately wanting to avenge their loss last year, throwing a pick 6 in the final seconds as Louisville won 42-35. UCF, guys, they're loaded with talent. Mikey Keene did very well in replacement of Dylan Gabriel. Did very well last year at quarterback. Their top 3 rushes are back, and they have 8 starters back on defense. Gus Malzahn has a squad that is ready to go win the AAC, win the American Athletic Conference. They're a team that wants to make a New Year's Six bowl game. And to do so, you've got to beat your Power 5 opponents, and they will beat their Power 5 opponent, one of them at least, in Louisville. They will win this game over the Cardinals. I ultimately think the defense here will be a struggle for Louisville here. The environment is going to be a struggle for them. Back-to-back road games, not ideal at all to start the year. Louisville 1-1. They then come home to take on Florida State. So the first home game is a conference game against a Seminoles team who Louisville beat by 8 last year on the road. The thing is, though, Florida State, guys, they're improving. Mike Norvell has put together a pretty solid team heading into 2022. Jordan Travis is slowly coming along. The offensive line should improve. The rushing defense should improve. The defense, really, as a whole, could be extremely underrated. And I think Florida State, guys, this is one of those games that's bigger for them than it is for Louisville, especially when you look at the likes of Mike Norvell and how much they've struggled. And I think the Seminoles come on the road and win this game. I think the offensive line holds up enough in this game to protect Travis, a guy who threw for 9 touchdowns and just 1 interception in his final 6 games. I think that defense does enough to contain Malik Cunningham, force him into at least 1 or 2 mistakes. Florida State capitalizes, and I believe they're going to win this game on the road. The Cardinals are 1-2, but we believe they'll beat South Florida, USF, so they're 2-2 heading into the bulk of their schedule. They go on the road to take on Boston College. They beat the Eagles last year by 14, but again, Boston College did not live up to their potential last year, mostly due to the fact that they couldn't stay healthy. Could not stay healthy, especially with their quarterback in Phil Jurkovec. Now the game is on the road. Boston College should remain healthy. They were 3rd in the nation last year against the pass, so Cunningham's going to have a rough day here. And Louisville's defense, again, one that is going to be kind of up and down, is going to face a very underrated offense at Boston College with Pat Garwo at running back, Phil Jurkovec hopefully healthy at quarterback, and Zay Flowers, one of the best wide receivers in the ACC. So I look at Boston College, guys, with home field advantage here, and I think they're going to end up taking this game against Louisville, and the Cardinals are going to drop to 2-3. The game against Virginia, for me, guys, is pivotal. This is one of those games similar to the Syracuse game that's going to be so key in whether or not Louisville gets to go bowling or not. Because Virginia is good. They're legit, guys. Tony Elliott coming in as the new head coach, former offensive coordinator at Clemson, has one of the best quarterbacks in the conference now in Brennan Armstrong, who is accounting for over 400 yards alone just last year. Louisville lost by 1 point to the Cavaliers last year, 34-33. But look at this, guys. Louisville's secondary was their weakness. That was their weakness. Scott Satterfield went out there and addressed those needs, adding all those players to the transfer portal. And by October 8th, I would think those players would start to gel. And I think on the road against what was the second-ranked passing attack in the country last year in Virginia, I think Louisville wins against the Cavaliers. I think they turn in one of the better defensive performances of the season, knowing how important this game is. Virginia's defense was god-awful last year, and I think Malik Cunningham takes advantage of that, both with his arms and his legs. They beat Virginia in a game that by the end of the year could be crucial in getting to that 6-win mark. They come out of the bye week and take on Pittsburgh. This is another game, guys, where it's going to be pivotal. A lot of pivotal games for Louisville here. Every game is going to matter. And a game where, when you look at it on paper, people are going to write it off and go, Louisville, or Pittsburgh, it's over, right? It's over. We kind of gave it away. We're picking Louisville. We're picking the Cardinals here. It's a major trap game for me for Pittsburgh. Yes, Pittsburgh's still going to be very good. Yes, I think they still own the edge at the line of scrimmage. But are they going to be able to keep up with Louisville's offense? How well does Keaton Slovis pan out? I think he's going to do very well, but he's got to build chemistry with a new core of wide receivers, one that now does not include Jordan Addison. I believe Louisville does a decent job of shutting down Pittsburgh's run game. So it's really just going to be a matter of which quarterback can win the game here, and which quarterback can make the plays when they need them the most. I'm going to go with the dual threat quarterback in Cunningham, and also the team that's going to be off a bye week, well rested, and a team that has home field advantage. Give me the Cardinals. They stay at home, guys, to take on Wake Forest, and we've seen a lot of classics between Louisville and Wake Forest over the last few years, including a 37-34 loss for the Cardinals just last year. But here's the thing, guys. Louisville's defense, as we mentioned, it's going to be the story of the season for them in terms of determining their success. Wake Forest offense will once again be one of the best in the country. Wake Forest will be one of the best in the country. Sam Hartman back at quarterback, A.T. Perry back at wide receiver. Yes, the game is at home for the Cardinals. We understand that, but again, I think Wake Forest does have enough offensively to come in here, and while their defense won't be great by any means, should be another high-scoring game. 37-34. A few years ago, it was like 62-59. We still think that Wake Forest does come in here. Again, the ACC runner-up from just last year. They do get the win. Louisville beats James Madison, new member of the FBS, new member of the Sun Belt. They take down James Madison. We do think they lose to Clemson. They fell to Clemson 30-24 last year, but again, I believe this Clemson team is going to be drastically better than they were last year. And last year they weren't even bad, 10 wins. But the game is in Death Valley. The defense is unbelievable for Clemson this year. The offense will figure itself out, whether it's DJ Uiagalelei or Cade Klubnik. Clemson will be drastically better offensively, and in Death Valley they will get the win. So if you're doing the math, guys, you realize that Louisville has 5 wins now. They've got to win one more. Will it be against NC State? Will it be against Kentucky? Will it be against either? Can they go bowling? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They're going to pull off an upset against NC State. They will win on senior night against the Wolfpack, and it will be a massive upset in the ACC. We've harped on NC State, how good they are. Louisville lost them by 15 points last year, but on senior night, a game that's going to be so big for Malik Cunningham, McHale, whatever you want to call him, Malik Cunningham, he goes off. He exploits his NC State defense. He will do it, both with his arms and with his leg. He will turn in a performance of the season against the Wolfpack. And Louisville's defense does just enough in the secondary to shut down Devin Leary. If you shut down Devin Leary, you are going to win this game against NC State. And knowing they need this win at home rather than needing a win on the road against Kentucky, I believe Scott Satterfield's team shows up, upsets NC State, clinches bowl eligibility, and in their season finale, unfortunately, they do lose to Kentucky, guys. Kentucky dominated last year 52-21 against the Cardinals, and let's just say last year, that 31-point defeat, that was the closest loss, closest margin in the last 3 years. Louisville has struggled mightily against the Wildcats, really since Mark Stoops took over. I'd say that was the last few years under Mark Stoops, but the last 3 years especially. Kentucky, with Will Levis and another solid defense again, will beat Louisville on their senior night, on Kentucky's senior night at home. But nonetheless, Louisville, we do have going 6-6. Many Cardinals fans will not be happy with that. Many want 7, many want 8, and 6-6 might not keep Scott Satterfield around. But I'm willing to bet you they get into that postseason, and if he wins that bowl game against whoever it might be, winning that bowl game, finishing with a winning record, finishing with 7 wins, that might be enough to keep him around in 2023. So guys, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Make sure to sign up for those today and check that out. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.